This mail call goes out to anybody who might be looking for a bino harness for hunting season this fall. Stone Glacier is one of those companies that continues to impress. Started by a couple of dudes sewing backpacks in their garage, they've now expanded to a whole line of products, including this new bino harness, which I've been field testing out in South Africa and also back in my native Arizona in the States. There are 5 things that I look for when I'm selecting a bino harness, and I've used a bunch of them down the years. So in no particular order, I'm looking for comfort. I'm going to be wearing this thing all day and I don't want to feel like at the end of it someone's taken a hacksaw to my neck. Second thing I'm looking for is protection for my optics. There's no point in having that unless at the end of the day I can pull my optics out and they're crystal clear and dust free. Third thing I'm looking for is ruggedness. How is this thing going to hold up in the field after I drag it through the brush? Fourth thing is ease of use, including how difficult it is to get into the binos or the rangefinder, and how noisy it is. And the fifth thing I'm looking for is lightweight. I don't want to be carrying extra ounces in the field if I don't have to be. Taking a look at this new thing from Stone Glacier, you can see it checks most of those boxes and it compromises in some locations. First of all, protection for optics. It's pretty good in that your binos and your rangefinder are sealed up, but they're not completely sealed. What it does do is it uses this pretty rugged cloth here to flip over the top. Shock cord holds it in place and it just keeps all the dust and debris and the vegetation out of your binos. It doesn't seal the back, however, so be aware of that. If you're really in dusty conditions, then that might be an element to you. In terms of ruggedness, it uses the same materials that go into some of their really robust clothing and their packs, so I don't have any problems with that. You know, it's going to hold up in the field. There's a lot of nylon and there's a lot of material there that looks pretty damn bulletproof. I dragged this through the brush when I was pig hunting the other day, chasing hounds, and boy was that stuff thick. And it's held up, well, it's held up a lot better than my hands have. In terms of ease of use, it is pretty easy both to set up for pretty big binoculars such as these Zeiss Victories, and they'll go down to a pretty small set of binos as well, such as my Leupold 8x32s. Now, in terms of setting it up, there's a very detailed, maybe more detailed than you need, video on their website, but I found it pretty easy to set up, and the easiest way to do it is simply just slap the cover on your binos, use the Velcro here to set the height of it, and then you're off to the races. There's no real need to overthink things. This bino harness as well comes with a little bit of thought attached to it, in that it's set up also for a rangefinder pouch. A lot of binos harnesses have these as an afterthought, and you kind of think that, well, it was Friday afternoon and maybe somebody needed a job to do. But in this instance, it looks like this concept was engineered from the get-go. It's very easy to attach the rangefinder pouch to it, and it doesn't feel like you're cramping up on the buckles because there's a buckle extender in order to make sure that you can actually get into this on both sides. In terms of comfort, it's very easy to set up for your particular physique. I've had no instances where the straps have been digging in, and this yoke at the back spreads the load despite it being pretty small. In terms of the amount of ounces that you're going to have to carry around with you, this is one of the lightest setups I've ever seen, and I kind of really appreciate that. I'm certainly going to appreciate it when I'm hunting elk this fall in the mountains of Colorado. Anyway, you've heard enough of me rambling on about this. Go check it out at your local Stone Glacier dealer. I think you're going to be impressed by it. I certainly have been. I'm going to be carrying this in the fall in addition to here in South Africa, and I'll give you a fuller report after I've dragged it through the brush a few more times.